John Pulskamp appreciation time. Like, I'm very much impressed with this man.
Yeah.
Like, he's had some growing pains, if you want to call it that, at the beginning of the season, whatever. But he's in it now, and he's keeping us in games, dude.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of No Other Pod. I'm Jimmy, along with my good buddy Daniel Kooser. Dan, what's going on, my friend?
Victory pod, bro. That's what's going on. 4-point week. Count them. Woo! 4 points. I'm excited, bro.
It's a fun week. There was a couple of crazy games this week. I mean, the Charlotte game was crazy for one reason. The RSL game was crazy for multiple other reasons, and I got lots of takes. It was wild.
I find your friends that say soccer is boring and say, come watch these games with me. There is nothing boring about this. I mean, okay, we'll talk about Wednesday game. It was boring for a bit. I'll be honest with you. I was like, oh, great. I was texting you about shitty refereeing. And then I was like, never mind. Refereeing is great.
Yeah, it's, well, I have some thoughts on the refereeing from the RSL game. That was less than optimal.
That's evergreen stuff, bro. We got thoughts on refereeing. What a tough job. I'm sorry to empathize with them. I know they're the bad guys here, but what a tough job.
It is a hard job. It's not something I want to do, but also if you're getting paid to do it, at least be halfway decent / consistent. And honestly, it's not even, I mean, we'll talk more about this. It's yes, it's the main referees. But VAR, what the hell? That's what I'm confused about at this point.
It's confusing.
So, yeah.
Dude, first of all, you guys, we are recording at almost 10 a.m. on a Sunday. Jimmy just rolled out of bed. Look at this. He did this for me. His tech week is upon me. He's got a IV drip of coffee into his veins right now.
I got my Casey Current commemorative coffee Yeti.
See, I have a teal Yeti. It's not Casey Current branded, but I'm like, it's Casey Current. Like, I bought the teal one, you know?
They gave this to us. I want to say this was the first game at CPKC. They had all sorts of gifts for the media that day. They had a little jersey. They had this little Yeti because, of course, they got the Yeti sponsorship.
Jersey?
They gave him a jersey.
A
replica jersey, but yeah.
Okay. I'm getting a little testy. It's too early to be getting upset. I need to relax. Okay. We're fine. I'm fine.
I remember when I got there, though, I was like, oh, I'm glad I got here early because they just had randomly sized jerseys at the different seats. And they didn't I mean, it was probably smart. They didn't try to guess what size people were. So, like, even though they had assigned seats, like, I got there and the jersey in my seat was a medium. And I was like, well, that's not going to work. So, like, I'm looking around, and I was the first one there. So I'm just like, oh, there's a little extra large, still a little swapperoo.
Medium would have been bad.
I would have been a little muscle crop.
You would have been, oh man, yeah, you would have been busting like a can of biscuits.
I can't remember. I don't think I've worn a medium since 4th grade.
It's been a bit, yeah. Bro, when I was at like the height of my fitness, and I was like wearing mediums, and I was like, oh, I'm too tiny now. This is crazy. It's a wild size for folks.
I mean, even in college, there was a time in college where I got too skinny. I was 6'3", 175, and
okay.
I was still wearing larges because I'm tall. So even like you get. I mean, you're a pretty tall guy too. So like it gets, even when you lose weight, you get sizes that are too small. They get too short, and you're like, I'm not trying to show the navel all the time.
Right. Are you where you were in larges now, right?
I typically wear extra larges just because I like the length of them more.
Gotcha.
I have some stuff that's larges, but yeah.
I do larges for the most part. I'll be honest, Nike, like jerseys, I think you got to go XL with it. But Adidas jerseys these days, XL gets you swimming, dude.
They get big.
It's like, hold on, how am I going to have these moist makers right here blast them if it's an XL? You got to have them blast them.
Which it's funny because Nike jerseys back in the day, they like, I want to say it was around when I was in college, they switched their jersey design, at least for NFL, because it used to be NFL jerseys ran friggin' huge. And I'd be like, I'm looking for smalls out there because I'm not trying to look like I'm swimming in a, 3XL. But then they switched their design, and I remember I got a large, and suddenly it was a lot more like form-fitting and like almost spandexy, and I was like, I hate it. And I stopped wearing NFL jerseys.
But that's I don't know what the style is anymore. I don't know what the kids are doing. I'm hearing like
Jinkos are coming back.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I was scrolling through my TikTok the other day, and there was a sponsored Jinko ad, and it was like, it's time to bring them back. And I was like, this is so much.
You know how hard it was to like dig in your butt to get your wallet? Those pockets are way down there. You're like, where did I put my billfold? Who am I kidding? It was Velcro.
I saw a video the other day of someone wearing Jinkos, and just to prove a point, they put a whole ass iPad in their back pocket.
Well, that's
because the pockets were so huge.
They were. You could carry so many things. If you had a belt, man, you keep them up, just truck it along. You got your hammer over here. You got your a whole pocket full of coins. You don't know when you'll need coins.
No, never. I mean, you never know. But apparently,
what about ankle socks? People don't like ankle socks now, and I'm like, bro, I love ankle socks. Oh wait, are you serious?
That's the thing. I mean, I still wear them.
You're still wearing ankle socks,
but we're old.
But why, dude? My ankles are pristine, like grade A beef. Okay, I need people to see them. Why would I cover them up with some kind of quarter crew sock?
That's the style. That's what the kids wear.
And then you're like, you're doing your calf a disservice. Like you can't see the full striations in the muscle. Come on, that's sexy, dude.
I think ankle socks look a lot better, but it's the the crew socks and like the quarter ankle socks. Those are the ones coming back in style. So
I blame Cooper Flagg. He's the young guns that are setting the style now, being the #1 draft pick, telling us what's cool. Gosh dang it. Still lost to KU though, didn't you, buddy?
Yeah. I think it started before Cooper Flagg, but it is funny how, baggies coming back, which if you think back to, what was it, like the 2002, 2003 NBA draft class, there's the iconic photo with the suits where they're all like 4 sizes too big.
But short shorts are still in. Like, no one's playing in baggy shorts.
Short shorts are starting to... They're still the thing. But again, the same way I saw the Jinko ad, I saw another ad that was like advertising shorts that went below the knee. And I was like, everything is cyclical. We're going back to 2003.
I just want to be cool, dude. How do we be cool? We got to stay on top. Don't give up, dude. Keep trying.
I'm ripping Pokemon cards, and I have a podcast. So
that's cool now. Pokemon is cool. People are playing Pokemon Go, bro. The Saudi Arabia pay-per-view had like a nod to Pokemon Go. It was crazy. You watch that, by the way? Did you watch Night of Champions?
I did watch it. I thought it was fun.
Why we didn't text?
I wasn't watching it live because I had to. I watched the first match, and then I had to go do something, and I came back and I caught up right before I left for the sporting game.
I had a blast. It was a great time.
It was fun. I'm not surprised necessarily by any of it. Well, that's not true. I'm surprised Solo Sikoa beat Jacob Fasu.
I am too. I didn't hate that. And Hikaleo, oh my God, that dude is a monster of a man.
Yeah. So that was the surprising result. The rest of it, I thought the main event, I thought they did a decent job with it. I wasn't sure how it was going to go because those two old ass men can't go for 35 minutes one-on-one anymore. So I was like, they're going to do something crazy to stretch this out, and they did.
It was nuts. It was like an MCU crossover for a bit. I was like, what are all these people coming in for? Why is Sami Zayn here?
Suddenly it turned into a friggin' Endgame, and the portals open up and everybody's coming out.
On your left, bro. Like, we're coming in. It was cool. I enjoyed it, and it was at a crisp 3 hours. I was like, cool, man. I can go relax.
I can get out.
Tech week is upon me, dude. Groundhog Day is rolling. It's crazy. Crazy time right now.
Yeah. So it's but it was a good, fun week. Lots of soccer to be had, and even today we're recording before the U.S. men's national team takes on Costa Rica in the Gold Cup quarterfinal. So still lots more soccer to be had. I think today also Inter Miami is almost certainly going to lose to PSG.
Bro, what a horrible way to enter the round of 16 in the Club World Cup. Like, hey, we made the round of 16. Who we playing? Oh, the Champions League winners that won very handedly.
Yeah. So
cool.
But
wouldn't it be? Oh, it'd be so stupid if they win though. oh my God, if Miami pulls it off, I'd be like, stop this.
See,
No one's going to shut up about this.
that's the thing. I don't think I want it to happen. Call me a hater.
Soccer, though, dude. Anything can happen.
Anything could happen, but call me a hater because I cannot imagine. I mean, MLS will be slobbering for the rest of time.
But Messi has that devil juice, dude. Like, he made a deal with he's got that secret sauce from Space Jam, man. He's something else.
Michael's secret stuff.
He's got Michael's stuff, dude. I don't know. It's I never count them out because then it's like top 10. Leo Messi had this free kick, and it's like, Jesus Christ, SportsCenter just loves this.
They do. That's because it's the only soccer they cover is whenever Lionel Messi does something. So.
That is very true. You know, I get surprised to see the Royals on SportsCenter sometimes, and then I'm like, oh, it's because the Dodgers beat them. Good.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. I don't know. ESPN's losing baseball next year too, so I don't know. Amazon,
Apple has some games already.
I don't remember where it's going, but I'm assuming they'll still cover MLB, but like ESPN, they pump up anything they have rights to. So like they have hockey and they have college football, and obviously they'll cover NFL. But like basketball, well, they are getting basketball next year too. So I guess they're trading baseball for basketball. I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. Media rights are crazy, dude. Like, it's like, where do I watch games now? I gotta tell you, I know it was a division when MLS went to Apple, and it's like I kind of love it because it's like, where do I watch the soccer game? And it's like, oh wait, it's on Apple. Of course it is. Everything is.
As a current MLS fan and somebody who is already like, I'm gonna watch it, I find it much more accessible and much easier.
I also love Apple TV as a whole and everything they're putting out, you know?
Right. And I have T-Mobile, so I get MLS Season Pass for free. So that makes it even better.
I'm a season ticket holder. I get it for free.
Right. So I do get the idea of like, well, it's going to be harder for people to like just kind of happen upon it. And even though there are the free games, like you have to go to the Apple TV app or whatever to find it. I get it. But also, I'm not sure how many people are actually just like scrolling through the channels and they're like, oh, I'm just going to watch the Colorado Rapids take on Nashville SC just because I'm curious. I just don't think that was really happening.
The old making the circuit with the remote, that's kind of like an old-timey thing now. My dad still does that. I'm like, can you watch one thing? He's over in TBS. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's kind of coming back too with like Tubi and Pluto. Like they just reinvented TV again. And they're like, oh yeah, just watch TV with commercials and we'll play whatever we feel like. And I'm like,
I don't want to watch commercials.
TV again.
I'm not interested in commercials. You know, my wife and I were talking about like potentially not renewing sporting tickets. It's like, I don't know. Sometimes we miss a good handful of games. Mm-hmm. I know. It's like, oh no, we've been at it for over 10 years now, right? But there are benefits, bro. And one of them is getting MLS Season Pass. And that's a good chunk of change that they give to you. Yeah. Season ticket prices didn't go up this year. There are new like early bird renewal rewards. Mm-hmm. They have some new bring a buddy. Like they'll give you 2 free tickets to bring a friend that for the season. That's pretty cool. For one game, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. In some cases, the low end of ticket prices went down, which is unheard of. But
it is. It's a new world right now, man.
They were smart. They knew they couldn't raise prices. That would have been insane.
I think they probably had a few cancellations after the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, I would guess so.
But Carrie's bringing us back to salvation.
I hope so.
Let's go.
Let's take our first break here real quick, and we'll come back and we'll talk Charlotte FC. But we'll be right back.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Folks, there's nothing that beats relaxing on a hot summer day and watching some baseball. And there's no simpler way to get in on the action than by downloading the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It's crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. And the best part, Pick 6 is available right here in Missouri. Don't miss out on the fun. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick 6, and right now, new customers can get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Bonus picks expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Gotta tell you, man, big Formula One race this morning. Watch that. That was crazy. Big NASCAR race this afternoon. Nick knows.
They're going to turn left for like 4 hours.
They will. I want to see that new Formula One movie though, man. I hear that's getting pretty good reviews. NASCAR was last night. I don't know shit.
I've heard it's good. There's an off chance I see it this week. I'm going to be spending the 4th of July with my cousin and her husband, and they mentioned wanting to see that movie, and I was like, okay, I'm sure it's fun. I'm just not a big F1 guy. I can't see it.
I'm not a big fighter pilot guy, but Top Gun Maverick was freaking awesome.
I've never seen Top Gun or Top Gun Maverick.
You really should. That's insane because it was like, I don't know, man, like cinematically, it was just a spectacle. And the guy who did Top Gun Maverick did Formula One, I think.
I think you're right. So I'm sure it's great. I've heard great things about Maverick. I'll probably go see it, but I know they also want to go see Elio, which I'm super interested in, the Pixar movie. I know they have a
transition from badass movie to Pixar.
It looks good, and I've heard really good reviews. They just haven't marketed it, and it's getting like really bad box office. So I kind of want to go support it. So I'm
but like, 28 Weeks Later is also out there. That was supposed to be dope.
And the other movie they want to see is Jurassic World, and I was like, okay, I haven't seen the third Jurassic World, and I know this is like a reboot kind of deal.
Kind of. It's in the name. It's called Rebirth.
Right, and so I'm mildly interested. I did see a funny TikTok. We'll talk soccer here in a second, but I did see a funny TikTok where the guy was like, I've seen all the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies, and let me tell you, if they opened a park and I had the opportunity to go, I'd still go. And I'd be the dude dead on the island because I want to go see real live dinosaurs. No, and I'm not going to lie. If they created a real life Jurassic Park, I'd be tempted to go.
Hold on. Stop. Go watch the second Jurassic World. At the very end, she's like, the dinosaurs are dying in this captivity. And yeah, it's bad. And she goes, they're going to press this button to let them out. She's like, no, we can't let them out into the world. And this little girl goes, I have to let them out. They're just like me. And it's like, no, y'all fucked up. Now the world is at risk. There's a raptor over in Calabasas. It's now crazy. There is a literal T-Rex going to go eat campers because this little girl did this. Horrible decision. Little girl needs to be put down. Sorry. Controversial. She a clone. She's not a real person. She a clone.
Now we're getting into all bioethics and everything. I did write a paper in college. You ever see the movie? It was like 2009 with Scarlett Johansson and Ewan McGregor called The Island.
Of course I did. Great movie. I wanted their shoes. They were Pumas.
I wrote a whole paper in college about like the ethics behind The Island.
Yeah, they were clones, right?
They were clones, and rich people would pay to have their clones. That rich people would pay to have themselves cloned. So if they needed like an organ transplant or they got sick or something, rich people could be like, "Oh, I got a farm of clones of myself that will just you need a liver transplant? Take the liver from your clone. They're not a real person. They'll die." And then Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson realize this, and they try to escape the island.
I didn't realize Scarlett Johansson was in it. I remember Ewan McGregor and the shoes. They were all wearing these Puma like Velcro strapped shoes, and I was like,
like the white suits.
Yeah. And then very Michael Bay-esque, a lot of cinematic camera angles and shit. Yeah.
It was the first like big movie that Ewan McGregor did after like the Star Wars trilogy. So I think it came out in like 2005, and I wrote the paper on it like 2008, somewhere around there. So
I loved that movie. It wasn't good, but I loved it.
it's got a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah. So you had to get a grade.
Yeah. And I think my professor was like, what am I reading? Like, what in the world is this?
I got to put a lot of time into this.
Right. I know. College paper.
Um,
Let's talk about the Charlotte game. Oh, I do want to give, this is kind of a funny anecdote before we get into the Charlotte game. You know, Sporting KC radio broadcaster Blake Aerney, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He does the play-by-play for Sporting KC radio. So he comes into the press box before the games, and we're usually talking, you know, Daniel Sperry, myself, and Blake and whatnot. I just want to give a shout out to Blake because Sperry kind of spearheaded this, but I've been there too. He's given Blake a random word he has to incorporate into his commentary every game that's like a challenging like reference or something.
Really?
And it's really funny. Like you'll hear, I like against the Charlotte game, Sperry was like, you have to work a Charlotte's Web reference into the broadcast. And if you listen to the radio call for the last goal where Santi found Dejan, Blake, ever the professional, said something like, and Santi navigates Charlotte's web of defenders to find Dejan Jovic for the go-ahead goal. And I was like, this dude is a real professional.
Is Sperry got to pay out some money here, or is it just a fun little thing?
I think it's just a fun thing. They were going to do a thing where like they both were going to try to work the same thing, Sperry into his KC Star article and Blake into his broadcast, and just it'd be like a thing that just sort of like
fun.
The joke. But it's just kind of funny because they. So if you have any suggestions of words I should tell Blake to incorporate into his broadcast, let me know, and I'll try to tell him next game. I told them, I was like, if you want to get real Galaxy Brain next season, come up with a word every game that if you put it together by the end of the season, it has a secret message that's strung out through the entire season.
That is, dude, that's really making your job kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it.
Well, especially in a down season. I know things are a little better as of late, but in a down season, just trying to find ways to entertain yourself.
I get that too, man. I try to, like on stage, I'll try, if I know someone's in the audience and we have like an inside joke or something, I might do a little nod, you know?
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny. Let's talk about this Charlotte game. CLT FC, as they are affectionately known, which if you read that on paper, I'm like, how did they let this become a thing? But this is the first time I believe that Sporting and Charlotte have played each other. So it was kind of cool to see. I mean, I know we've watched Charlotte on TV before play other teams, but it's kind of cool to see a team for the first time ever play in Children's Mercy Park. I had a good time, and they're okay, but they have a players like Wilfried Zaha, who famous Crystal Palace player, and so I was very curious to see how this game would play out, and it did not lack for drama. That's for sure.
No, I was excited, man. It was one of our final rehearsals before Tech Week, so I got out pretty early, and I was driving home. I plugged it into my audio, and I was at like the 20th minute. I was like, "Ooh, 0-0. I'm gonna get home and see I won't miss a goal. This will be great." And they scored on us before I got home, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" Like it's a 10-minute, 12-minute drive, and you scored on me. Okay, but I get home, I watch the rest of the game, and I'm like, "Jesus, dude, we're not getting any points out of this thing. This is bad." Charlotte, they flash the stat up on the screen that says Charlotte doesn't lose when scoring first. Never has, not this season. 4-0-0, and they don't even draw. They just win. And I'm like, cool, so they're going to bunker in on us. Boy, oh boy, was that not the case. It was a nutso night, man. What a crazy Wednesday.
It was interesting because Jake Davis was at right back. I don't know if it was just a rotational situation, but Wilfried Zaha, he was going down that left side, and he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's getting older in terms of athlete years, but he was taking it to that right side of our defense. They kept trying to work the ball down the left side, and they were getting opportunity after opportunity. And it was in the first 30 minutes or so where Sporting didn't have a ton of chances themselves. There was one or two, but for the vast majority of the first 20, 25 minutes, it was a lot of Charlotte. Daniel Shallowy did have one opportunity in about the 20th minute where he found Shoppy on the far post and just a real tough angle. But
honestly, when you're looking through the highlights, man, it's all Charlotte stuff until about 20 minutes. Oh, what happened at 20 minutes? Your boy got in the car and plugged in the phone. You guys are welcome. We started getting opportunities.
the thing that I would say about the first half in particular was Sporting did create a couple of chances. All they had to do is find Dejan Jovic. If they just lay the ball off to Dejan, they probably have 2 goals in the first 25 minutes. But Shallowy decided to try to go far post to Shoppy. Eric Tommy decided to try to take it himself. And he did almost score. He missed it by like a foot. But on both of these plays, Dejan is in the box, in space, and somebody just got to lay it off to him. Even Shoppy, he went off the post. And again, he lays it off to Dejan, and it's probably a goal.
Yeah, man. I mean, that dude, Shallowy getting the stride on that, he just, boom, does a little poke and just burns the Charlotte defense, man. And you see it in Dejan's face. He turns to Daniel and just puts his hands up. Like, what? I'm right here, bro. What are you doing? Maybe would have liked to have that back. Different opportunity, different scenario. It is what it is. Eric's getting a little comfortable going from distance, though. And spoiler alert, that RSL game on Saturday. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with him taking those shots because he's able to get them off. It's cool.
Yeah. He's done that a few times in his career where, like, if Sporting is not creating chances, then he'll just line one up from distance and let the arrow go as his celebration.
It's a F it kind of attitude. He's just like, okay, fine, Thanos, I'll do it myself.
Which is great because the last midfielder we had who could do something like that I recall was Benny Feilhaber. Now, I'm not saying Eric Tommy is the same type of player as Benny Feilhaber. They're wildly different players. But this mentality of like, okay, if nothing else is happening and I got to make a moment of magic myself, I'll do it.
Almost had a moment of magic in the 28th with Suleimanov hitting the post, bro. I am tired of the post. I'm so over it. Man, Shoppy's fun to watch, dude. He just cranks back and just fires.
Shoppy is fun to watch.
And he's on target, like hitting the post like that. That's an inch of difference there, dude, to like bounce it in the net.
Yeah. If he can work on his right foot a little bit, like even just like 30% better on your right foot, like that'll be huge because
real dangerous.
So drastically needs the ball in his left foot to really get a quality shot off that if he can just mildly improve that right foot, because you'll see defenders are giving him miles of space if he wants to go right because they know for 9 out of 10 times he won't take him up on it. So if you can work on that, there's something there.
And then I got this goal that Charlotte scores in the 33rd. You can't take nothing away from this, man. Defense is there. Like somehow that ball gets through and it's almost like a back heel into the goal. All you got to do is redirect it, and they do. And John Pulskamp appreciation time. Like, I'm very much impressed with this man.
Yeah.
Like, he's had some growing pains, if you want to call it that, at the beginning of the season, whatever. But he's in it now, and he's keeping us in games, dude. Like, even at the end of this game, they could have scored like 3 more times, and it's like, you're a monster.
He had a huge one-on-one stop where he came out of the goal off his line and saved the game. He is getting much more confident in his decision making.
Yeah.
I think you can watch and noticeably see from the first part of the season when, especially on set pieces where he's trying to, like, you can tell he's thinking as it's happening, do I come off? Do I not? Do I come off? Do I not? And now it's much more instinctual. This goal that they scored, Toklamati, there's not much Pulskamp can do there. It's a good little back heel. The pass to set up the cross by Wilfried Zaha was incredible. The cross was good. And, would you like a defender to get a foot in there, poke the ball away? Yeah, probably. But I don't know. There's just...
We got a few gimmies here too, man. They really they put a couple wide. They put a couple over the crossbar.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little lucky. I was like, oh my God, thank God for their inaccurate shooting right now and or mishitting a ball, because we could have been in trouble. It was getting real scary, man. And it was just kind of all Charlotte for the second half too. We really we looked pretty damn flat. And I remember in the press conference, someone asked Kerry Zavagnin, what would you have done different in your coaching of this game? And he goes, I think I would have tried to have a better pregame speech because we really came out flat.
Yeah.
So, I'll work on that, motivational thing.
I do appreciate Kerry being honest in assessments like that. And he's done that a couple times where he's like, yeah, we came out and we were not energetic at all. Like, we need to be better.
Dude, it reminds me a little bit of Bill Self. Bill Self never has anything good to say about his team. At halftime, he'll just go, they'll be winning, right? And he'll be like, yeah, we weren't really good. It's fantastic. He goes, we really need to be better at getting those bunnies. Calls them bunnies, the little easy shots.
A little late, gimmies.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, can you say something good about the team? It might help. It might make them feel good.
Kerry does
He
obviously have a lot of praise to give for his team.
100%.
He strikes a good balance of, and what's different about his approach, it's not like Peter. When Peter would be critical, sometimes, and this isn't necessarily a criticism of Peter, but when he would be critical of the team, there was a lot of energy and fire behind it at times.
Yes.
Kerry, it's almost like a disappointed parent. They're like, I love you, but I'm disappointed. And I'm
just feel that.
Fuck.
We had him on here. It's big dad energy,
Yeah.
I feel it.
So, but I dig it. It's a totally different style. And I think the team thus far, for the most part, is resonating with it. I mean,
yes.
We'll see.
Now, we were pretty flat in the second half, man. Not a lot going on. Munoz comes in. Big fan of this dude. Big fan of this kid. I'm loving him. And, stoppage time hits. And we get a beautiful assist from World War I veteran Manu Garcia over here.
He's straight off, the front line.
He's bandaged to high heaven. It's like, whoa, dude, we're putting you back in the game. Like, you have injuries, clearly.
Did a big old gash because he got an elbow to the face.
Why would you ever review that? Hands to the face like that? Is that a rule? I don't know. I think we can just be slapping people.
I don't think they're allowed to review anything anymore. I think there was a silent rule change where they said no more VAR.
It's insane. But spoiler, Manu Garcia provided the assist on both of our freaking goals in this game. And Mason Toy, welcome to Kansas City, you sumbitch. That was insane, bro. Just getting open like that, just never stopping. He scored, first time shot. Once he scores this, I watched him and he looked so hungry. He's like, we're going for it. He kept chasing the ball down so fast. I'm like, okay, get in here, fresh legs. Get another one. It was awesome.
The over the top ball from Manu could not be more perfect.
How do you do that?
Absolutely.
It reminds me of a golfer. How accurate they can be,
shot.
And that's what that is, dude. That's fantastic for your midfielder.
Mm-hmm. And Mason Toy just perfectly timing his run, could not be better. So it was really incredible. And then
the way he first times it past the keeper like that, it kind of takes that little one hop. Oh my God. And the defense are idiots. They just look so dumb. They didn't know what to do. It's like they just got too hot, They
were trying to play the offside trap and they couldn't do it.
Yep. Sucks to suck. Clipped. Charlotte, whatever. CLT, baby.
On the off guard. It's too early for that. It is a 10:20 on a Sunday. People are...
Who chooses the abbreviations around here? That's crazy.
And then just to finish this game off before we take our other break, Manu, again, with almost an identical pass to Santi. And he just gets the ball, sends it over the top. And credit to Santi, who's not a huge dude, but he uses his body to shield a couple of center backs off. And then I don't know, whoever number 29 is on Charlotte, I don't know what they're doing. They just kind of stop running and they leave Dejan Jovic wide open just at the back post. Like, hey, designated player, 20 goal a year player. Maybe you want to cover him. And then let me talk about the pro that Dejan is. He scores and he goes, shit, I got a cramp. And he goes down immediately.
I was really hoping it was like a Lola Bonta Selly,
I'm not sure how much he actually had a cramp, but he sure sold it. And
another Manu Garcia, though, real quick, he goes and gets the ball in our end. Just no one's on him. He gets it and he's so far and just goes, okay, World War I veteran. He snipes it, dude. And you know what that gave? Wayne Rooney vibes. Holy shit. just doing a freaking bomb like that to pinpoint perfection. It was crazy. But Manu with the cramp, come on, man. Let's get this guy some potassium or some water or something. Sniper got him is what he said afterwards, right?
Well, good for him. I mean, like, if other teams do it sporting, then I say, hey, let's play the game. And he goes down, and Mason Toy goes over there. He starts stretching him out. He's getting some help, and it ends 2-1. What a game. It was one of the more fun games that I've been to in a long time, even though for the first 93 minutes of it, it was not great.
I can't say enough about Munoz, though, dude. I'm really happy he's here. Every time he's in the game, he's like showing good things. Like, I'm very excited to have him here. And especially when he's on the field with Dayon, I'm like, oh, this is gonna get spicy. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's to do a little foreshadowing before we take our second break. Kerry was asked about Santi Munoz after the game, and he goes, the competition to be on the first 11 is very, very high. The speed in which he's integrated himself into the league, especially our team, has been very quick. So he's knocking on the door, and I would expect him to play a massive role in the second part of this season. So didn't take long for us to see him in the starting lineup.
That's right. And you thought, here, let's take a break here in a minute, but we thought he'd be out of the game Saturday. Really thought he might be hurt, and Dayon was on the bench.
Yep.
He was there, man. He's available.
He was available. Anyway, let's take our second break. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Man, oh man, double game week is crazy busy, by the way. Like, just thinking about it, talking about it. We were kind of dumb earlier this week when we didn't bother to mention, hey, Johnny Russell and William Agada are coming back to Kansas City. That's a talking point. Why the hell wouldn't we say that?
We were so busy talking to Jansen Miller and being distracted by him and thinking about all the shit talk that he was saying on the field. So it's
solid Jansen Miller interview, by the way. Solid interview. I mean, it's props to us. High fives, smooches. It was great.
I did get a chance to talk to him after the Charlotte game. He said his family loved it. So appreciate that.
Did he love it? Did he have a good time?
He had a good time. He enjoyed it.
That's what a class dude, man. Like, he was so fun. And God dang it, he had moments all week. Holy shit. Another goal line save last night against RSL. The man he's got some energy where I just love it. He should not be getting all this playing time, and he's deserving it. You know what I mean?
He was the veteran center back last night because we had a freaking 17-year-old Ian James starting.
Oh, I like Ian James, dude. That some dude was trying to get in Ian James's face and like talk some shit last night. Ian James was just like, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah. What's funny, so we know Jansen from the interview last week said that he likes chirping on the field to people. And so I asked him, I was like, you get any ammo for Johnny? Because there's lots of teammates who Johnny talks Johnny pretty well. He goes, well, we were on different sides of the field, so we didn't get a chance really to interact. But he goes, his teammates told him, if you get a chance to shit talk Johnny, they were like, say nice things to him. Like, just get in his head and like get him to like be caught off guard and say like nice things to him, because like you don't want to make Johnny angry, because angry Johnny is not fun. So they're like, just like say really nice things to him and like try to confuse him. And Jansen was like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's too nice. Like,
I'm not trying to hit on him. Hey, your half pony looks cute.
So I don't think we got a chance. By the way, that was crazy.
Beard and half pony.
I don't think they got a chance to really shit talk. But you saw it when Jake Davis came on the field at first. I don't know if you saw it. He gave Johnny a little shoulder tap as he checked in.
Why not, dude? Why not? I mean, Jake's a little spicy too, by the way. Jake's got to hold on. He's going for like a yellow card record, it feels like some days. He started out on the bench in this game. He did.
Yeah, he was a sub.
He subs in later. Kyrie Shelton back from his red card situation. So this lineup was interesting, man. Munoz gets the start.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy and Shallowy up top. You know, if you remember, Tommy was actually more in the midfield last game. So really different setup, and I like it because it makes it hard for teams to prepare for us.
Yeah, they had to
like that.
They had to do something different because especially, defensively, there's like no healthy center backs.
Danny
Rosero
in there, and Dembe on the bench.
Rosero is out. Robbie Volder is out. Joaquin Fernandez had yellow card suspension. So you had two rookies back there. And yeah, Ian James, he had 17-year-old moments You can tell. There was one time where he had the ball deep in Sporting's territory in the second half, in the corner, and for some reason he sent it back toward the box, and that was probably his worst moment. It didn't end up leading to anything, thankfully, but you could tell as soon as he did it, he knew immediately that was the wrong decision. And I was watching because I was curious to see if other players went up and like said anything or tried to coach him on the field at the time, and they didn't. Except I think it was, I want to say maybe it was Manu. It was either Manu or Eric. One of them looked at him and kind of like gave a little clap of encouragement, like, "Hey, it's okay," which I think is good because when we were talking to Jansen last week and he was like, "I messed up in Portland," and he thought my career is over. I can imagine you're a 17-year-old getting your first start. You make a mistake like that, you might think the same thing.
I would think so. Yeah.
So,
I did not get to watch this game live, so I had to live on highlights, extended highlights and all that. But again, man, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Pulskamp. I mean, they scared us one time with the they hit the post early in the game. Pulskamp just kind of had to get to his knees to stop a few balls early on. Nothing too impressive, just stopping down to stop it like a ground ball, right?
Yeah.
But I also can't stand RSL's jerseys. Like, be a bad team, but don't have a bad jersey. You like the jersey?
I think this is their best jersey they've had in a long time.
It's like a racing checkered flag. What do you mean?
I like it. It's like
You like the checks?
the Croatia vibes.
Okay. I guess you do like Croatia. I guess I get that. And there's also a restaurant named Checkers, and I feel like you have to wear that jersey to Checkers.
Yeah. I've never been to a Checkers, but I've heard of Checkers. So
No.
I don't like their, whatever it is, the claret and cobalt jersey. I just don't love those typical
But
jerseys.
that's their identity, right? It'd be like if we didn't like sporting blue. It's like, well, that's what we are.
Yeah.
Checkers is not only in Lawrence. There's like Checkers elsewhere. What
I didn't even know there was a Checkers in Lawrence. For some reason, I thought Checkers was an East Coast thing.
What is Checkers only in Lawrence? What?
No,
Okay.
there's got to be Checkers elsewhere. Hold on. Nick is saying
Just-
Checkers is only in Lawrence.
I
I
thought
thought Checkers.
Blockbuster? Like it's just going away?
Checkers restaurant. Let's
What?
see. Checkers and Rallies. Checkers, yes. So maybe Rallies is the East Coast version, but Checkers and Rallies are the same thing.
It's a grocery store? I'm talking restaurants. You're talking grocery store?
Nick is what we're talking to our producer here, who there's a Checkers grocery store.
He said, never
That's
mind. He's
crazy.
snapping out. Just end the podcast, Nick. We're done, dude.
Go back to NASCAR.
Dude, I really thought we were going to get to halftime of this game at 0-0. I was like, okay, hey, we're stemming their attack. We're not having a whole lot. Let's go regroup, right? Johnny Russell's on the field, bro. And
Man,
God dang. It sucked. He scores this brilliant header on us. Great ball, too. And he comes running in. It's a powerful header. John ain't getting that. Sucks that the defender kind of got beasted on that. No foul there. He thought he was fouled. But, and he didn't celebrate. There's that thing. Diego Rubio, still a prick for celebrating when he came back.
yeah.
But Johnny Russell was just like, thumbs up to the cauldron. Like,
It was almost apologetic. Like he held his hands up. He was like, I'm not going to celebrate. And I think that was mostly even for his teammates, where he was like, okay, like I got to be respectful. Pro's pro,
Yeah.
and
Did they cheer? Did the cauldron cheer for him? Or, I mean,
when they announced his name on the starting lineup, it was a loud cheer. And
but not for that goal.
Not for that goal. Same thing with William Agada, honestly, but because Russell and Agada were the last two names that they announced in the RSL starting 11, and it's the only time you'll ever hear an RSL player cheered in Children's Mercy Park. But there were loud cheers for him, and then I feel like there was one brief moment early in the game where he touched the ball where it sounded like people were doing a little bit of booing, and I was like, don't do that. Like, don't. This is not a situation. He didn't leave us in like. This wasn't a contentious departure.
Who did Johnny put on the ground? Who's that? Was that Bartlett?
Was it Bartlett or
Was on him?
Leibold? I couldn't.
Might have been Leibold. It's tough to see. I can't see
It's
it.
Leibold.
Okay.
Leibold just kind of got.
And it's shoulder to shoulder.
All watching.
There's no foul.
No, a step too late.
Yeah,
So
but it's tough. I mean, Johnny was onside. Just pretty easily onside. There's another guy offside who didn't even try for the ball. He was like, I'm offside.
yeah, but Johnny. I mean, look. Anytime I've ever talked to Johnny, he's a good dude. He scores. He looks at the cauldron. He waves. He gives the thumbs up. They weren't cheering, but it was almost like a respectful, like, hey, we're happy that you're happy kind of deal. And it was really weird to see. Like, Agada, it's one thing. He was here for a couple of years, but it's not the same. Johnny, it's like, I don't know, man. That was a weird sight.
Chip told me, he texted me before the game, said seeing Johnny is like seeing an ex, and it hurts, but you hope they're doing well. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. I have some exes I can give a shit less. No.
Sometimes it's like that, and then other times you're like, hey, it just doesn't work out. You're like, I hope you're happy, and I'm happy, and it what could have been, but it was weird. It was an emotional night because it was also the night that Matt Beasler was inducted into,
that's right,
as a sporting legend. And speaking of Chip, I am 98% sure he was featured on the video, and it was so they had set up microphones around the stadium for people to talk, and they're cutting, and I'm watching people, and there's a couple of people I recognize, and then it cuts to Chip, and he's double fisting beers as he's talking about Matt Beasler, and I was cracking up in the press box.
He did that. I said, Jimmy just told me this, and he goes, yeah, I did that.
He goes, absolutely.
It was awesome. He sent me a big old write-up for both of these games, too, by the way, so we'll get to that here in a minute.
We'll get to that here in just a second. But yeah, I will say for the first 30 minutes of this game, I thought Sporting actually looked pretty good. I loved the movement that Santi had as a striker. He's such a different player than Dejan Jovic. But for the first 30 minutes, I was like, okay, there's a lot of ball movement. They're not finding that final ball. They're missing it by just a little bit. The last 15 minutes of the first half, obviously RSL scored. We sort of fell off. Like the energy died. And
we regroup, though.
You regroup, and it took a long time for the referee to give a yellow card to RSL. They finally got one, in like the 40-something minute. And Kerry made some halftime subs. He brought in Shoppy, and he brought in Logan and Denbe. Daniel was on a yellow. He had to come off. It was a bullshit yellow. They changed formations 3 times in this game. So clearly they were tinkering. But
a little bit. I mean, dude, we get one back in the second half, and it's precisely Eric Tommy doing his thing and shooting from outside the box. Goalkeeper gets some fingers on it, but it goes in. It's been a while since I've seen the old bow and arrow. I was happy to see it because this man, true to his craft, he always pulls it. You got to pull the arrow from the quiver. I'm like, okay, Katniss, go get it, Katniss. Almost had a second one later on.
Robin Hood.
So good, dude. He robs from the poor, gives to the rich. It's fantastic. Is that not what they do?
Right. Well, some people do that.
Strike that. Reverse it.
Some people do that, depending on who you are. What was so frustrating about this game is RSL should have had a red card. Jake Davis, he had a hard foul against Gozo of RSL from behind that we talked to him after the game, and he goes, I knew what I was doing. I knew I was going to get a yellow, but it was a calculated thing. And then Gozo just tweaks him, kicks his leg out from underneath him intentionally. Just full on. And I don't think they put this probably in the highlight package, but and I don't think Chad Smith was at the game because he's usually cutting clips. But Gozo's on the ground, and he just leg swipes Jake Davis and takes him out.
That's okay.
And the ref gives a yellow, and then a little skirmish is starting, and that's why Jake was hot when he finally got his second yellow, because he's in his face like, what the hell? And I'm in the press box, and there's an RSL reporter 2 seats to the right of me, and they show the replay, and even he takes his headphones off, and he goes, that's a red card. Like, you can't do that. You just intentionally kick somebody.
Yeah.
And these refs didn't even signal for further review. I have never in my life seen such an obvious, blatant red card where the player intentionally kicks out the legs of an opponent on the ground in retaliatory fashion, not 2 seconds after he's fouled. And these refs decide, no, we're not going to take another look at it.
What a mess, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
So that's why Jake was hot when he ended up getting his second yellow, which was it a foul? Yes. Should it have been a second yellow? Not based on the way this referee was calling this game. So then when Jake's walking off the field, and I caught it on the broadcast, I don't know if he was talking to the RSL bench or the fourth official, but he goes, fuck you, yes you. And points at somebody.
Good. Fuck them, dude. I'm over it. These refs, why? Why not VAR? What is it hurting? Like, we're not upset to take the time to get it right. You know what I mean? Like,
It's bad.
I know there's some people that are like, no, VAR slows the game. And it's like, but don't you want an accurate game?
Right.
Like, there's
That's
human
not-
error in everything. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's not like it's AI or anything. It's you're just looking at a video and like, oh, he did sweep the leg. Okay, Johnny, you're gone. Did you freak out when there was almost a bicycle kick goal?
Yes, I turned to Daniel's Ferry to the left of me, and I was like, no more bicycles.
That was a little trauma. I was like, oh boy, yeah, too soon.
But it was a minute before the game ended in stoppage time, and it was freaking Gozo who kicked Jake Davis. He shouldn't have been in the game. Almost won this for RSL. And freaking Jansen Miller. I don't know how he keeps doing this, but he clears it off the line, and you immediately see Pulskamp come back, and he's like pointing to him, and Jansen's all hyped, but the game's still going, so they got to get back in position to see out the last minute. But somehow, some way, and I mean, this game had 7 minutes of stoppage, and the freaking ref took it to almost 9.5.
Yes, he did.
But
it was insane. I keep going back to Jake's second yellow. Like, yeah, he bodies the guy. You know, it's unnecessary. But the guy goes down holding his leg, and it's like, no one kicked your leg, you dumbass. Like, wait, you know, there's replays, right? We're all going to see it. We're all going to see you rolling around like a freaking. Who's the guy that Neymar? Yeah, Neymar. We all see you. It's ridiculous.
Willie Agada is starting to flop around a lot too.
I don't like that. And if that's the case, glad he's not on our team. You know,
he started doing that toward the end of his Sporting time, which is weird because he's such a built player. He doesn't need to do that. But he and Jansen had some battles all night.
Dude, Jansen, no. Oh my God, they're going to score this goal in the 96th. And Jansen Miller just goes, woo! Like he does this little, oh my God, dude. And he just fist pumps the crowd. This guy's having the time of his life on a rookie contract. I'm so happy for this man.
He gets some loud cheers when they announce him in the starting lineup. I mean, it's the loudest cheers I've ever heard for a rookie.
Why wouldn't you? Because he's goalkeeper number 2 out there. Like the dude has had some serious goal line saves to save John's ass. I mean, if John's not taking him to dinner a couple times, I don't know. It's like Patrick Mahomes getting saved from sacks. Patrick probably takes that guy for steaks.
What's funny is Kerry was asked about this after the game because Kerry played defender, and he's like, I've talked to him a couple times because, like, in theory, you're supposed to, like, turn your body a little more so you're not going to, like, deflect it back into the goal. And he goes, but he keeps doing it, so what am I going to do? Like,
it ain't broken.
Right.
Why fix it? Like, it's insane, dude. And when it happened last night, I did see it real time, by the way. We were just wrapping up rehearsal, and I was on my phone. I was like, oh, my God, was that Jansen? Of course it was Jansen Miller. Holy shit. This man getting that no other pod bump. Like, it's just so good, dude.
Well, and I asked him after the game because I was like, hey, you were the veteran center back out there tonight. Like,
that's weird.
What was that like? And he was like, that's crazy. But also, he had nothing but great things to say about Ian James. He was like, of course, that dude, 17-year-old, the stuff he does in training every day, I couldn't even dream of doing when I was 17 years old.
That man doesn't sound 17 either. When he talks and stuff, I'm like, you're 17? Like that.
I mean, you can tell he does have like a teenager like elements to him. But he's a big dude. You can tell there's some people you can tell by like their frame because you can tell he needs to add muscle and weight because he's a teenager. But you can tell by his frame. He's got big, broad shoulders. This dude is gonna be a tank as he gets older and fills out and continues to grow into his body. He's gonna be a big ass dude.
You got to do the right stuff, too. You can't put on too much mass and be slow. You know what I mean?
Right. But I in Eric Tommy, we asked him about it after, and he was like, I told him, like, this is your time. You deserve to be here. Go out there. And he was like, he's only 17. He's got so many years ahead of him. If he can stay fit, if he can stay healthy, and he can develop, he's got all the potential in the world. But that's the thing. Can you stay fit? Can you stay healthy? I hope so. I mean, I think he was the second youngest player to ever start for Sporting Kansas City, second only to Gianluca Buzio. So
we missed that man. Come home, Boost.
I was talking about that with some people. I was like, I would love to see him in the midfield right now. And Venezia, they got relegated, so hey, it's ponying up some cash. Let's bolster that midfield.
Yep,
bring Booz home.
That'd be crazy.
Then we could have Boozy on the podcast. We could have Boozing and Koozing.
Oh my God, you did not. That is woo! I got my nipples hard. That's exciting.
But I don't know, man. It was a great way. Quick anecdote. I know we're getting toward the end here, but this was funny because I don't think you probably saw this. I think they showed this on the broadcast. But toward the end of the game, Carey's getting all excited. He's outside of his managerial box. He's coaching and everything. And the fourth official comes up to him and he's like, "Get back in the box. Like you're getting too far out." And Carey's kind of arguing with him. So he gets back in the box. This man, it's a 1-1 game. This man is in the box. He looks right at the fourth official and takes a step outside the box and stares at him and then steps back in. I was like, this is like a 4-year-old.
Oh my God, dude. I love this guy.
I'm not touching you. And I was dying.
That's pretty cool. Dude, yeah, come on. Sometimes coaching on the sideline, like it can be a little boring. Have a little fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's having a good time.
So it was fun. But
you want me to read Chip stuff?
Give it to me.
Let's do it. He's the keeper of stats. Chip Shot. 4 points in 2 games with only 3 days between them. I'll take it. Seeing Johnny Russell get 1 in the net on us, heartbreaking. It's really a whirlwind of emotions, but between the 2 games, we definitely got a better space and even jumped Salt Lake in the standings in the process. The game against Charlotte saw a stoppage time thriller, which blew away all expectations. Historically, SKC has not been a team which has the ball end up in the net during those minutes, unless it's our own. But this time we saw 2 goals in stoppage. The last time we won a game in stoppage, July 17th, 2020, when a man by the name of Graham Zusi puts one through in 90+1 against Colorado. But Charlotte continued to struggle in the end, getting only 1 goal off their 2.5 XG compared to SKC's 2 goals of 2.2 XG. Interestingly enough, that's the first time SKC has underperformed on goals compared to their XG in a game where they scored since April against Portland. But for the RSL match, there were some strong feelings in the air. It was nice seeing Johnny and Agada again, and I hope they're doing well. Johnny getting that header and being respectful about the celebration was nice. I do not know how I feel about that top knot thing he had, though. It was another match where the cards came out flying. 10 cards in total, including 2 directed at Jake Davis, bringing his card total up a notch to 5. But I don't know how second yellow count. Do those count as an additional yellow or a red? The numbers are confusing and inconsistent. What isn't inconsistent is Jansen Miller's defending and saving us from those goals. Another one of those goal line defensive moves, and that one really saved our point there. While I think SKC had opportunities to get a second goal, SKC ended the match at a 0.8 XG for the match, compared to RSL's 1.2. But Sporting KC having 13 shots, only 5 on target, and the XG as low as it was, the clear opportunities didn't show themselves in the ways we'd like. Tommy did have himself a game, though, with 5 of SKC's shots and combined for 0.29 of SKC's 0.8 XG. Santi Munoz also got himself up there with 2 attempts on goal and a combined 0.27 XG. I'm excited to see him develop his game in that spot and put him in the right position more often. Next up is our annual 4th of July game at Colorado. I honestly don't know if this is something we're setting every year or if this is some tradition we're setting in Colorado. Maybe their fireworks show is Bangarang. Who knows? Colorado is sitting in 8th in the West with 26 points compared to SKC's 20, so they're definitely within striking distance. Colorado is also at 0.8 points per game in their last 5 matches compared to SKC's 1.4, so it feels like we're at least heading in the right direction. The only points Colorado has had in their last 5, a win against the reigning champions and current case study of MLS team downfall, the LA Galaxy. But beating them is nothing special. We did it without a single shot on goal. SKC's away record of 2-2-6 is going up against Colorado's home record of 5-2-4. Doing it without Jake Davis will be annoying, but we'll see on Friday. July 4th, baby. I love July 4th soccer, man. Don't really care about fireworks. My dogs freak out. It is what it is. We usually hide in the basement. Luckily, get to hide in the basement with some soccer on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chip, for writing that up, by the way. I messaged him this morning. I said, hey, we record in 30 minutes. He goes, I'm on it.
I'm on it. I will say, as we wrap up here, this might be a must-win game because we talked about the importance of this little like pseudo homestand of Sporting closing that gap to the 9th spot.
And we
made four points over the last 2 games, but we're still 6 points out because teams ahead of us were winning. So Colorado, they're sitting at 26 points. They're tied for that 8th and 9th spot with Austin. Winning a full 3 points against Colorado, making up those 3 points against a team we may be fighting for that 9th spot with, crucial. So this is huge.
Good. Okay. Hey, I'm with it. I'm excited to watch, man. Yeah, I actually get to watch for once. I won't be
Yeah.
doing anything because it's a holiday. Hell yeah.
Awesome. You got anything else for our good listeners?
No, man. Thanks for being here, everyone. This is fun. It is fun to get points. It feels like we're so close to like turning a corner, but like can't quite get the traction on the track or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Racing analogy, Formula One.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. It was fun having another victory pod. Hopefully we'll be back next week for a 4th of July victory pod. I hope you all have a good holiday. Stay safe if you're shooting off fireworks. Make sure that you're being smart about it. But leave us that 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social at NoOtherPod, at Dan Kooser, at JCMac03. Shoot us an email, nootherpod@gmail.com, or check us out on YouTube, KCSN Soccer, or via the KC Sports Network app. But until next time, he's Dan. I'm Jimmy. We'll catch y'all later. See ya.
Groundhog Day opens next weekend. Come see me. 6 weeks.